What are we gonna do?
We will figure out. First of all, we'll find balance. So maybe we can continue the topic that we started with the chores. Because
Yeah.
when we spoke about chores, it seemed to me that the other side of chores is resting. So I feel like even though I don't think that we are working very, very hard physically, I think that modern person maybe is generalizing, but in the sense that as a lifestyle changed, we still see that, okay, people are tired, even though they have a washing machine and a car and they can go to grocery shopping and they don't need to grow their food and bend their back, but they are tired. And probably it's mentally, like it's mental tiredness, emotional tiredness, like it's not physical. They get physically drained from whatever is happening within
But in society,
or within a self.
I was thinking about it and listening and trying to kind of like unintentionally just thinking about it throughout. And also, I came on to thought that sometimes people, they don't let themselves rest. They do not give themselves permission, and it probably starts from childhood because probably it's how the society functioning. Like
Mhm.
they say Japanese, they workaholics.
Mhm.
They Europeans also tough life
Mhm.
in cold climates, but the Greece and Spain and other
Mhm.
countries, they have no problem just sleep in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
You know, it's could be psychological trauma of generations.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of generational things, but
We feel guilty if we're not productive.
yeah.
And why we want to be productive all the time? Because it's not realistic. Because if the battery, rechargeable battery, if the battery was working, giving away energy, and then this battery time comes when you need to charge it, probably overnight
Mhm.
or more.
Mhm.
So why we don't treat ourselves like a batteries?
Yeah, yeah, there is this part of psychological, like being a good person thing where from whatever investigation I have made during the years of practicing spiritual practice, was that sometimes people have this value to serve others, but instead of serving, the other thing happens, that they are serving out, like they are trying to serve themselves out of some sort of jail punishment. You know what I mean? It's instead of
Mhm,
I'm giving this to you because this is a little bit extra that I have, it's like
mhm,
I'm giving all myself to you because I'm guilty for something, or so it's like these feelings of shame and guilt. They kind of propel people to overgive and overserve and over abandon themselves. So in a sense, there is like a psychological trauma in childhood. But
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they get tired. And I feel like in everything in material life, to achieve something, you have to have discipline. Like, for example, if I want to lose weight, I need to have discipline with my food and my exercise, isn't it? Or if I want to have a career, I have to be disciplined in learning and following through whatever needs to be following through. I cannot just learn and then not to show up at the exam. I have to do both things. So I have to have enough discipline and power of will to like finish something. And then there is this weird thing that sometimes people over apply it. For example, okay, if I know that it's good for me to take a walk and I start walking, and when I'm walking, I'm feeling better because I knew it was good for me. And so the result of that is that I'm feeling lighter and I'm feeling refreshed and I'm feeling wonderful. But then sometimes people apply discipline to the things that they think they need to do. And and it's just making them more and more miserable. So in the end, I feel like it's always about, first of all, our inner psychological balance. And then that balance can go either way also, where people maybe have energy, like a physical energy, but they don't want to do anything. So it's like their psychology is drained elsewhere. They don't feel so much guilt and shame, maybe, but they don't know what they want. They have no purpose. So I brought this like question up to one of mentors that I have. He's like from different religion and from different spiritual path, and he told me that these questions, they have been here also for ages, and that he said that everything starts in childhood when our brain is forming. And
Exactly.
basically, for human being to be able to act and rest, there has to be synthesis between left brain side and right brain side. One side is responsible for wanting, and the other is for doing. And the wanting and doing has to be synchronized for a person to be active in their life just enough so that it is something that they want to do, and they do it, because it's very hard to do something that you don't want to do. Like, for example, I'll give you example. Okay, let's say my husband comes and says, let's wash the dishes 12 o'clock in the night, and I will say, oh no, I'm tired. But if my husband says, and you know this and this famous person that we really like, who wrote this book and is a podcaster, is coming, and we can go and meet him, then suddenly I have energy to go and meet them, but I wouldn't have the same energy to wash the dishes. So it means that the
Okay.
potential of having energy is always there. So it is like we can tap into it through wanting. So that means that actually wanting is a very, very big part of us having enough energy and balance in our life. Then the other side is doing. So doing is when we are disciplined, isn't it? So without discipline, without me leaving the bed to meet this famous person, and putting my skirt and dressing up, sitting in the car and driving, there is no result. So there has to be synthesis. So he explained that these two sides of the brain can be synchronized by so the one that is responsible for wanting is through food discipline. Like, so it's what you eat. You have to basically adjust your diet. And then according, whatever, people are very different. So we just give a general idea, and then they have to kind of think about it. And then, if a person is depressed, it's always like, it's a combination of couple of things, but one of the things that like science suggests is like a lot of physical movement, and then also food. And then the other side is synchronized by spiritual literature, basically reading reading scripture. So this was his recipe. And he said that the tracking back, it would be very difficult to track back when and how our brain developed in a certain way, that it was, there's trauma or damaging or whatever, or ADHD. It still would come to the same basic principle of balancing both hemispheres, basically. But then the technique of resting, we know that there are a lot of people who say, okay, you have to go to sauna. The other people say, okay, you have to do parasite cleanse. Okay, like learn a new language. Okay, do something that that doesn't make you feel like you're doing chore. And it's all fine. But I feel like his answer, from what I tried to get, was the deepest one. It's like in the childhood, from the time we were born, from our upbringing, and something happened, some sort of like imbalance in our brain. And
Mhm.
like the ancient teachings already have the answer, basically. That's what balances the brain. And he said also it can be a couple of other things. He mentioned that if you don't, for example, if you don't pray, you don't do the prayers and scriptures, then you can stay in silence, because people are different, of course. No, not everybody maybe is able to open the heart or believe, in a higher, something higher. But then they said, okay, there can be fasting and silence then, you know. So yeah, so these ideas kind of resonated with me when it comes to being tired, because a lot of times I just find myself that I don't want to do something. That's why I'm not doing it. Or there are things that I really want to do and I'm not doing it because I don't know how, and it makes me tired. Just from these two things not coming together, if it makes sense. So I feel
I,
like one side of me is like a half broken leg,
it reminded me like I was living in Orlando and I was trying to travel to Alachua as often as possible because I like the temple. But the road is 2 hours and three I had three pretty small children. So I really want to go. I have energy. So I would pack and prepare everybody and myself and dress up and everything. But the thing is, by the time we just everybody sit down in a car to drive, I was done. I just was done from the preparation,
Mm-hmm.
everybody. And then I realized I don't want to drive. So by the time we arrived there, um, I had energy just to sit in the car. I could not like walk there, dance, participate, communicate, like.
Mm-hmm.
And also like what resonates with me, I was listening some podcast and it says that part of it, rest, we don't give ourselves permission to rest. It comes from childhood. We're trying to be productive all the time to please somebody. So somebody paid us attention. And it's actually starts, everybody blame their fathers and mothers, but it starts, they say mother is the first guru.
Mm-hmm.
If the mother was cold
Mm-hmm.
and was not given the skin to skin, eyes to eyes, not responding to our basic needs. So when the basic needs are not met in the right time, in the right place, there stays all day, all life. So the adult woman can think basically like child. The child think if the mom went to restroom and closed the door, she gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
So she start feeling very sad, grieving, crying, because he really don't knows. He don't have concept of time to understand that she will be back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's genuinely crying. He crying genuinely for about loss.
Mm-hmm.
So, and sometimes older woman, when somebody goes away or they don't hear a long time from a friend, or husband went to some conference and he don't call for them, they feel the same feeling of grief and sadness.
Abandonment. Yeah.
Abandonment. So my point is when the adult woman trying to overserve, not from the abundance, but from, just to see.
Abandonment. Not
Yeah,
abundance, but abandonment. Yeah.
yeah, but from abandonment, yeah, she served, not from abundance. So she actually how to say it, like
Regulating? Like self-regulating or
so she has some energy and she giving it away, sabotaging herself.
ah.
Oh, she's sacrificing herself.
Mhm.
She's sacrificing herself um, because she thinks she's not worthy if she's not gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Nobody will pay on her needs. So she's trying to self abandonment comes from this. So she's sacrificing herself, she abandoning herself like the mother was abandoning her. To go back to this, because what we the theory goes like, so how we live in a childhood, our first impressions
Mhm.
in our family, this is how we building our family.
Mm-hmm.
So in a new family, we want to feel like home. And our home was feel like abandoned, sad, and you have to try hard, you have to scream hard to get your needs met.
Yeah, to have to work to be loved.
Yeah, you have to work your lungs out so somebody would hear and satisfy your basic needs. And
Yeah.
if they're not satisfied, comes sadness.
Mm.
So we don't want to feel sad. That's why we over deliver to prevent sadness. And when we cannot deliver, like for example, if somebody become recovering, for example, after operation and cannot be physically, practically useful for the family,
Mm-hmm.
this person feels what? Like he nothing. He can't contribute. That's why he's nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just, he feel like a child, like when the child just born. This is what he feel, and it feels like not for everybody. Some parents who have like sleeping, co-sleeping, skin to skin, going to restroom with the child with the open door, stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the child never be alone. Basically, carrying the first couple months the child on top of mom. So their childhood is safe attachment. But some people, the childhood, early childhood is abandonment and screaming. Like so. So from this, I connected with not giving yourself permission to rest, because when you rest, you're not useful. And when you're not useful, you are nobody.
Yeah.
And sad. This is sad. If
So
nobody pays
yeah.
attention on you, nobody satisfying your needs when you're small or big, or you can't satisfy your needs yourself, you are nobody.
Yeah.
So it comes, it comes something into this picture like self-worth. What if, like this self-love, like God love you the way you are. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do something special. God love you already. It's always bring me tears in my eyes, because I cannot believe that I can be loved
Mm.
for not contributing to anything.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
for loving me just because I am. I am because I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am exist. And that's enough.
Yeah.
Everything, like it comes also the good
Mm-hmm.
point that I see a lot of videos online saying there is no unconditional love. It doesn't exist. It's
Mm-hmm.
only nature. And I understand it is true. Even probably mother love, it's more like instinct, more like some moms. It's some glimpse of unconditional love, but I don't know if it exists in relationship with older children, with
Mm-hmm.
between older people. Like this love where people love you because you are exist, not
I,
because you
yeah.
clean, take them to every weekends to bunch of festivals. I was like this. I was just like non-stop. I thought I'm a good mom if I
Mm-hmm.
take my everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was connected in my, and if I cannot,
Mm-hmm.
it's depressing and
Mm-hmm.
sad. So the depression and sadness is like you want to do something but you can't. But why? Because you're not giving your permission to heal,
Yeah.
your permission to
Yeah.
recharge. There is
Yeah.
no permission. Nobody gave you. And where to get this permission?
Mm-hmm.
Rukmini, I give you permission to rest, and please give me also
Yeah,
permission.
I have
You should-
given myself permission to rest actually, and I have given myself permission to be useless, and I have given myself also a grace to not care if anybody else doesn't like it. So that is the most important part, I feel like, because a lot of times if we think, okay, I have a right to rest, and then somebody is unhappy and showing emotion of please don't rest, and we still get affected, it means that the healing hasn't done the job. Now listen, one thing that you said about the taking everywhere and feeling only then good, and if you don't do everything, or after some physical limitations, people feel depressed. Listen, this is, I will translate from my language into English, something that person that I was talking about initially says. So he said, if one side of your brain wants a lot, but the other side of your brain can only very little, what
Mm-hmm.
happens is that depression starts, apathy starts, energy, like fatigue, and
Mm-hmm.
then in the end you get like a psychosomatic disorders.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other
That's
way
right.
around, if you want very little but your other side of the brain can actually is capable of a lot,
Uh-huh.
then what happens is that the like tension inside, anger, too much stress, and burnout.
Mm.
So there's two ways to experience kind of being tired. So through burnout or through depression. And that is because your like one side of the brain either wants too much
Mm-hmm.
and cannot do enough, like your personality, or wants too little but actually is capable of a lot. I see a lot of people who actually are really, really hard working, and they
Mm-hmm.
really, really like they like they job ethics or whatever, like they have a high performance, but they have a lot of anger issues, or they a lot of like stress that they need to release and shout in the bushes, and things like that, or beat the boxing bag so that they can relax.
Mm-hmm.
That also happens. I feel like in my family we are sharing opposite traits in this, and that I think also is not very good. But I think maybe that's the tendency.
Part of purification, or we are
Yeah.
marrying our enemies in the past life.
Yeah,
That
or continuing with whatever we started and stopped. But
or
even without like a lot of like contemplating on a mental platform, I feel like that the fact that there is discipline in spiritual life makes me
mm-hmm.
feel like actually it's designed in such a intelligent way. Pity that we don't know sometimes what it can do like practically to us if we just like follow three simple things and then we can relax. So for example, for me personally, I have to start learning how to act, and I've been because I am the person who wants a lot, but I don't always know how to do it, or I don't have enough self
Yeah,
discipline in my body
cortisol.
to achieve it. And I actually, in the last couple of years, kind of intuitively, because this is an intuitive podcast, I started thinking, okay, I have no problems with ideas or whatever like goals in my life that I have in my heart. I have
Mhm.
plenty. I can give everybody around in my neighborhood a good idea, and a good
Exactly.
desire. I have plenty, but I don't have a plenty of like energy and knowing how to start and finish. So this is what I'm working on, and I'm feeling like a lot of things inside of me is returning back to normal scale. So I'm feeling balanced from whatever the experiment I was doing for the last 2 years, learning how to work, learning how to start and finish a project, how to
Mm-hmm.
work on things that I don't want to work on, banks, on establishing
Oh,
documents of the companies, of
the
creating
word.
systems online, and the things that normally I would say brush to the side, because I understood that this is the lacking part of me. Like I can
Mhm.
do it, but I have to learn to do it because it requires a little bit of discipline in my body and mind.
An effort. You
Yeah.
know what I wanna say that even in Ayurveda, like I was searching like longevity secrets, and I found the just simple rules. First of all, when you wanna pee, you go and pee.
Yeah.
When number two, you right away go number two. When you wanna drink, when you wanna eat, you eat. And the fifth one, when you wanna sneeze, you sneeze.
Hmm.
Because blocking natural body signals causing diseases. So it makes me think about mental health. When we
Hmm.
want something but not doing it,
Hmm.
it causes mental disease. When
Yeah.
we have a we don't act upon it, it causes energy stagnation and disease.
Hmm.
No, like acting right away it's very healthy thing to do. It seems like very healthy, but sometimes we, like you said, we don't know how, or we don't have energy. So a lot of time, for like 2 weeks almost, I'm thinking about uh where is my resources. So basically energy is resource, so we don't know. We think resources is only money, or some person come and do it for us, or we pay to do it for us, or we know a friend who we give some chapati and he come and do it for us, or I'm gonna make my child do it for me, or my husband promised me to do it, and someday after 5 weeks, months, years, he will do it, right? So this delay cause stagnation of energy from wanting to doing it. So every day almost I'm thinking about what is my resources, what can I do right now to start on my idea, like with what I have, with where I am right now, with the idea that I have right now, I want to start doing it. You know, because this is very discouraging when you ask somebody to do or something and they say, "Oh, I'll get back to you," and it takes so long that you already don't want to do it and you feel pissed off.
Yeah.
Also, so it
Yeah.
also I had idea about, like there is a female and male part of the body, and I just come to me this idea right now, and there is a we are combination of our mother and father DNA. Basically, we 50% our body mother and 50% father. So basically, we are half of our brain is from mom and half from the father. So, for example, if my mom is always like structural engineer, like know what to do, like blah blah blah. My father is artist. So, what do I have? For example, biologically thinking. So, half of my brain that's supposed to do, male brain, it's a dreamy. And the feminine part of brain that's supposed to be all artsy and intuitive
And desiring.
and pet, it's like a man in a skirt. You know,
Yeah.
like so. Like I was just thinking about it. But what I try. My way is to. We have only one focus, one laser focus, and we cannot aim it at our weaknesses and at our resources at the same time. So I just try for 2 weeks already forcefully. I forcing myself to direct my laser only on my resources. What can I do right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Make me happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the stuff where you are happy is actually your energy and resources there. Once you do what's make you happy, you have more energy to do next stuff and to do maybe even boring stuff like banking and all of this stuff, because honestly it doesn't give energy, all of this paperwork. It does not. It takes.
But if you have a good motivation and faith, that's what I wanted to say. Like I feel like the energy can be tapped into through faith. So if I believe that something will benefit me, and
Right.
even though I don't like it, it's going to benefit me. And so then I can do it. But if I don't believe in it, there's no level of discipline that is going to make it work for me.
Yes, exactly. And what I'm saying is, if you most of your time you doing what you like, what you're excited about, this energy is charging you, so you become so charged that do this kind of
Yeah.
and then to make yourself do some boring task, it's very easy because you have abundance. But if person mostly do stuff that he do not want to do,
Yeah.
that doesn't inspire them, not aligned with their intuition, and it's unlimited list of like these things, like I used to self to do all the stuff that I think I need to do, but they didn't bring me any joy. And one day my body said, you know what, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just not doing it. Stop forcing me.
Yeah.
This was the turning point.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. Oh, about resourcefulness. You want to hear a story?
Yes, I want.
To find. I think resources is also no, actually resources is you are one of my resources of my happiness, and happiness is energy. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking for this podcast, it gives me energy and make me happy,
Mm-hmm.
and it brings more calmness into my home.
Mm-hmm.
So cooperating with a being who vibrating on the same vibration is very resourceful.
Yeah.
Also, I relate that having a lot of ideas, writing them down in my unlimited notebooks and not acting on them, and then feeling depressed. I can relate to that also.
Yeah.
Also, the story is like this. When I was little, I went to a movie, and it was a movie about Frida Kahlo, famous South American artist. You heard about her
Oh,
in Europe?
I heard about her back and forward, of course.
Yes. Yes. So she was giving me such an impression that I'm kind of following her example right now. So when she was young girl, she has a situation where she has to be on a bed rest in she was wrapped in these hips. What you call it? How you call it in English? She was disabled for like
Mm.
6 months, something, or 3 years, something like this. Her back was broken, so she has to wear a cast. So she was laying down for so many years, like a young, vibrant person. So you know what she was doing? I still remember.
Mm.
She starts painting.
Mm.
How she become great artist?
Yeah.
She started painting. Yes, she put all of her emotions, all of her life. So the only resource that she could do at this situation is her paint with her hands. She only could do this. She could not work, could not do much, like. And she started painting, and pictures at that time that she painted was the most famous one
Yeah. Yeah. She
because they were
painted her suffering. Yeah.
they were charged with emotion
Yeah.
about meaning of life and
Mm.
everything. So it's very I still remember it. She gave good example to
Yeah.
me, at least, to
Yeah.
all of us,
Yeah.
to find your resource, even if you think there is nothing.
Mm. Yeah,
Okay.
and sometimes we
Um,
feel that the idea that we need to go and learn something, and then only we can have how you call that, somebody, as if we are looking for somebody to allow us to be
yeah,
to do something,
yeah,
like if I haven't gone to this and this course 27 times and didn't get this signature and a stamp, then it
mhm,
means that I cannot do it and nobody allowed me to. And we are walking like this with a lot of talent,
yeah,
feeling that we have no right to do to show that talent, but actually is opposite. And I wanted to touch upon one thing that you said, because this was very important when I was contemplating on topic of rest. So you said that when you are connecting to people who are on the same vibration, it gives you resources, and quite vice versa, actually. So
mhm,
there are things that are called like soul contracts in
mhm,
people's life, and sometimes if we overextend something that is already done its business in our life, like say we meet a person, or we are married to person, or it's our colleague, or it's our family member, or it's our friend, and naturally we had some sort of soul contract with that person, that for 5 years I'm gonna torture you and you're gonna torture me, and in this way we both will learn, and God bless you. And then when
ah,
we come to this world, we forget that that was the plan and we hold on to it. Okay, we already learned the lesson. We already got the experience that we will need to learn the lesson or whatever it is, but we overextend it. Then
exactly.
this is the most draining, like the most anti resourceful thing that can happen and take our energy away. I feel like in a certain ways it applies not only to people, but it applies to our profession, our hobbies,
Mhm.
our even religious circles, anything at all. Like we
You
already
know,
learned the lesson, we already have to move on, but we are holding on through attachment. And it
I
doesn't
wanna.
have to, yeah, sorry, just saying that it doesn't have to be like a physical cut, but
Yeah, yeah.
we have to cut the energy, like the leaking energy away, and understand that this is done.
You
I'm
know what
gonna
it?
now shift
Yeah,
focus.
you want what it remind me is like when person going to first grade and instead of graduating again going to first grade. It's so boring. It's so
Mhm.
so pissed off. Person is people repeating the same thing and do not but there is a way, you know, like it's like repeating the same grade all over again. You have to graduate and go to next level basically.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
for me. Yeah, sorry for cutting you. I would
No,
just
no, no. It's okay because we get excited. That's why, and this is how conversation goes. So yeah, and so that's basically what I wanted to say. That sometimes it's not only about that we have to like synchronize our brain and that do things that we want to do and things that we believe in and find out about ourselves, what our talents are, and go forward with the resources that we already have. Don't try to waste your resource on getting the resource, you know. But it's also about cutting off things that are not helpful in our lives. It's like hygiene, you know.
can we do podcast about cutting down, cutting off things? Can we go deeper next time about it? Because it's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I can give maybe examples from my own life how a lot of things, like, for example, now I can give an example. Now I realize that after so many years, I realize that I'm actually extroverted introvert. I really like
oh
to be alone and I really like to go deep into my own nonsense and I like to go and do the creative art projects that have no
yeah.
materialistic sense, and that it gives me a lot of happiness. And then when sometimes I over socialize, it makes me miserable. So I realized that
Mhm.
actually I need to spend more time with my little crazy ideas, and it
Mhm.
gives me I can be like, I don't need anybody else mostly
Mhm. That's
to
good.
feel that I'm making sense of my life. I need to put
Mhm.
my creative ideas outside of me to really feel that I'm
But
making sense of my life. And so
you
I
put it.
stopped, yeah, I stopped socializing. Basically, I talk to people who want
Mhm.
to know me,
Mhm.
and I keep my friends and I try to keep them happy and I try to show them attention, but I don't give any attention and any life force to anybody else who cannot really see my soul
Mhm.
at all. It's not because I feel like, sometimes there is a Western canceling culture. So I'm not doing that. I'm just preserving my energy by not trying to prove anybody to love me. I'm just
Mhm.
taking love and showing love to whoever can see my soul.
It
But then
seems that
socializing, I just don't do it. It's fake.
it's
It's
boring. Yeah,
draining.
this
It's draining.
small talk that like the
Yeah.
small talk. Let's all look at the weather. Yeah, let also
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Doing this, know what I start doing in the situations when I forced to kind of I start I kind of tune in into my intuition and
mm-hmm,
ask my what is right now I want to say no or express, and I just do it. And
mm-hmm,
it's without like, oh, how are you? Look at this tree, the weather yesterday, today. I just go straight, direct questions. And you
mm-hmm,
know what's happening? People kind of answer me unexpected answers,
mm-hmm,
and they give me some ideas and insights. So
mm-hmm,
instead of pretending to be normal and do small talk, I just
mm-hmm.
go to the apple. You
Yeah,
know,
I
like apple.
always do that, but that is very Eastern Slavic.
Yeah, yeah. But before I was not like I was not like that ever
Mhm,
because I don't know why. Because I don't have too much energy right now
mhm,
to for anything else. Just for important stuff. I
mhm.
guess it's
Yeah, maybe it's maturity with age.
yeah.
Yeah, me too. I value my life now in the sense that maybe a little less than half has passed, and I'm thinking, does it make me, every time I go out or there is anything social going on, I'm thinking, does this benefit me? Do I feel that these people are happy to see me and I'm happy to see them? Because if not, then it means we're gonna drain each other, and it's like uh a respectful distance that I feel like I'm preserving your energy and my energy, and I hope that somebody else has a wonderful life, but I don't want to be a part of, it's like,
I understand I was like this for 10 or 15 years of my life, like this.
Mm-hmm.
But because you keep in your energy, you take your energy from being alone and creating. I
Mm-hmm.
take energy from communicating with souls,
Mm-hmm.
unexpected like vibration,
Mm-hmm.
coherence.
Mm-hmm.
So now I I feel like urge to go to new places and even old one and to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I think there is nothing gonna be good or interesting for me, I'm curious. What if
Mm-hmm.
I communicate from my heart instead
Yeah.
of communicating superficially? There will be this insight, some great idea or great
Mm-hmm.
awakening for me.
Yeah.
Like because I want to communicate with people on a new way, just from the heart directly,
Mm-hmm.
without this, without this covering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful night, moon,
Yeah. Yeah.
star.
I can see that too. So, what the conclusion that we made? Let's wrap it up together. So we
Yes, and
say that we
early.
don't give ourselves permission sometimes to rest, and
Mm-hmm.
then sometimes we get tired from our own thoughts and the way how we function, because either we don't have motivation or we don't know how to do things. Then the second idea um, is that actually when you believe in something and that
Mm-hmm.
something is good to you, and this is kind of what your personality is more tend to do, then that thing gives you resource and you don't have to acquire anything externally to actually, you know, to show the talent or explore it. And
There
then
are.
yeah, and then that sometimes the most draining thing in our life is the overdue soul contracts that should actually already finish. Oh yeah. And then of course there are techniques that would help our body to relax, but which we don't really, you know,
Use them.
discuss. Yeah, everybody will find their own diet and their own sauna regime and their own walking distance and so on and so on. So these people, like,
No,
there are a lot of influencers who guide through that. So we are
no.
guiding through everyday normal woman's life issues and childhood.
You know what? I feel like
Problems.
influence, they guide them. It becomes like second job to relax. The way
Mhm.
they present it,
Yeah.
it feels like job. So it's not relaxing. You have to go to sauna, so you run in, like
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
come rest. Maybe
Yeah.
to talk.
What about I watched 5 hours of Alone today? You know, Alone is like a survival show, and it really relaxed me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. Send me one.
So even though I don't think that watching TV is ever relaxing because it doesn't do anything to the brain except that puts you in a coma state of waves in the head. But
Oh
anyway,
gosh,
yeah.
the deal our podcast because I'm really scared of TV because it's just stealing life.
Mm-hmm.
Hours, days of life. So if we
Yeah.
calculate, it could be like 10 years of TV. And if we calculate average age, middle age,
Mm-hmm.
like real middle, if the people averagely live until 65,
Mm-hmm.
the middle age is actually 32 and a half years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I passed age already.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just killing time because it's so addictive. I'm kind of scared, like this
Yeah.
TV. I always
Yeah.
feel sad. I always feel like like a person that they stole wallet after
Mm-hmm.
like hours of TV or
Mm-hmm.
social media.
Yeah.
If it's not aligning with my goal, if
Mm-hmm.
it's just like
Yeah.
not until anyway.
Yeah, yeah, that's another
Yeah.
topic. But whoever is listening to our podcast, you can please comment how you relax and how you recharge and how you really like how you allow yourself to
How you
just not to
feel
do anything. Yeah. What's your technique? Because we don't discuss techniques. We just discuss psychological behind and mystical side of it. Okay.
How do
Thank
you?
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Liliana. So this is Ruru and Liliana's podcast, Soul
Yes.
Syndicate. Please text us and tell us your feedback. Actually, people been leaving a lot of voice messages, which actually would be really nice if you comment. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Let us please. What do you need to do? Like you need to comment, like, and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Comment, like, and subscribe. Yeah. Okay.
We are getting with the time.